back to another edition of Off Earth. Another edition. Today, we painted a wrecker helmet from the Bad Batch. I know you guys been watching this on Disney Plus because I have. This helmet is a file from the Galactic Armory, printed in PETG, 0.2 millimeter layer heights. Can't remember how long it took to print, but we went with a realistic look and not an animated look on this helmet. When you get to the end of the video and you see the beauty shots, there's a lot going on here. And some stuff I didn't cover in the video because I think it would better suit a separate tutorial so you can kind of wrap your head around it and I'm not throwing too much at you at once. This guy was fun to paint. Starting out with something new, I'm showing you guys some sanding. After multiple passes of sanding, filler primer, sanding, spot putty, filler primer, sanding, and more spot putty. Quick look, I'm using more spot putty. No, seriously, this helmet was pretty simple and straightforward as far as sanding goes. If you guys would like me to do a more in-depth tutorial on how I sand and fill and get my FDM prints ready for painting, leave a comment in the comment sections below. After I got everything pretty much smoothed out, we start wet sanding. I'm using a 400 grit and just making my way all over the entire prop piece, making sure to saturate my sandpaper in water in between passes just to knock off some of that dust and grime that you pick up while sanding. Next up, we're going to take this needle file and we're going to run this guy through these ridges, these recessed areas here on the ears and on the top of the helmet to remove some of the spot putty that may have creeped in those areas. Good old Tamiya Plastic Scribe. This is used mainly by model makers, you know, your gunpla guys, but I use it to remove excess spot putty from the crevices and to bring back those detail lines that you want. Needle files also come in handy when removing the spot putty from these areas as well. So for the realistic wrecker, I wanted to try a couple new products, mainly because this helmet looks like it was painted by a child, and that's probably because of Wrecker's personality. We're going down! But I wanted to do something with this golden crackle paste. Just gonna kind of like dab this on here, paint over it, and hit it with a heat gun and see what happens. And I hope that it breaks up and like reveals the metallic duralumin that's underneath. That's what I'm hoping happens. So I'm gonna give that a try and see what we get crackling. So after reading the back and the directions, it says not to force dry. Do not force dry or add retarder. Wood. Always test for your application. Clean with soap and water. And this stuff looks like drywall spackle. Come on, baby, there we go. I painted a spoon and I'm going to force dry it and see what happens. I don't know. The other thing that was kind of worrisome was it said that it takes like 3 days to dry. Crack sizes increase with thicker application. Allow 3 or more days for curing and cracking. Oh man, I don't want to wait 3 days. First, we're going to base the helmet out in some carbon black. This is a golden high flow acrylic. The stuff lays really great, has high pigmentation, and we're going to use it for some weathering effects later on.
Grab the digital calipers just to kind of find the space in between and kind of keep it, level. Then I use some Tamiya masking tape. Mark those spots with the digital calipers, and voila. So we should have a nice consistent center line.
Now onto the titanium white, another golden high flow acrylic. This is going to be used for the stripe and the Rancor skull that you see on Wrecker's helmet. Naphthol red light, another golden high flow color. For the back panel, I'm also going to use this to paint on the 99 logo on his forehead. And I use this for a highlight color and some of the weathering as well. And here we are freehanding these Rancor teeth onto the front of the helmet. This was kind of a difficult process, but I didn't want to mask anything off knowing what I was going to do with the weathering later on down the line.
All right, so I'm going to try to explain what I'm going to do here. Like I said, I wanted this to be more world-like, world-used, I don't know, realistic. That's the word I'm looking for. I wanted it to be realistic, not cartoony. So I did a test with some golden carbon black and get this stupid thing to focus on it. Show you what the spoon be like. Come on, baby. There we go. So this is just a spoon that I had spray painted or airbrushed gold. I was testing some golds on, and I threw some of the golden carbon black over top of that, and then wet a brush with some Tamiya acrylic thinner and drug it across here and kind of blotted away the paint. And that gives you this nice weathered effect that you see here. So we're going to take that and apply that technique to him. So you just need you a crappy old chip brush, thinner, a cup, and of course some shop towels, which I have to reach and grab. But this will be a time lapse because it's kind of my first time doing this on something this big. So we're gonna mess around and see what happens. Either this is gonna look amazing or I'm totally gonna screw this up. Hope you guys enjoyed that video. All I have left to do is put some lenses in here and this thing's ready to go. Make sure you like and subscribe and hit the bell. All that good stuff, you know, helps us out. Helps you out so you know when we put out new content. And remember everyone, always be brave enough to suck at something new.